Yo, welcome on this new day to Parcle Dev. Today I have a tutorial for you. Something I was looking for in the past but couldn't really find, it's how to make a proper customizable switch button and save the properties toggled. We use an attribute for it I tell you more about later, but this attribute can we use in other scripts to perform any action based on its value. On this way, with a bit of scripting knowledge, you can make any setting with a switch button. This video is split into two parts. Part 1, making the switch button and 2 settings examples, toggle time, GUI and day-night cycle. Part 2, make the settings save. Okay guys, we start with making the UIs. We add first a screen GUI called settings. This are based add a folder into the screen GUI where we place all our scripts. I don't recommend to place all scripts into instances, but place it into one folder. I speed it up for you guys. Script instancing is bad practice, and also keep it to a few scripts, like one manager and one for navigation. Attributes are like custom properties. You can make your own properties with it and use it across scripts. It doesn't support all properties like enums. We use a Boolean attribute. We add a UI list layout to our switch button. To position the dot, there is a property called horizontal alignment. You can set to either right, middle or left, and on this way we toggle the button on or off. Also in the dot we add an attribute called enabled with an bool value to check if the switch is on or off. Do you guys remember what I told you? So what I do wrong right now, let me know in the comments. For example, we make a label displaying the user's local time and update it each minute. It's not that good and also not updating in real time, but I just use it as example. Okay, we first need the OS date. We get trough os.date and add a string, *t, between quotes to it for the local time. If you want the UTC time, add an exclamation mark to it. Also we can with the OS date get the time and date. We use the hours and minutes. Also fun fact, when you use it on the server, it uses the server time and will only run things then, where on the client time be used. Let's say we set our time settings to the 1st of January 1970, that will be the OS date. Then another question, what is there since that date? What contains seconds passed from that time? Used a lot in programming. Answers at the end of the video. Os.date contains a table with dates like hour, min, day, month and year. We use hour and minute to display the time. We make a function to update the time, therefore we need to connect a string with the gotten hour and data. You can do it on different ways, but we do it with double quotes and dots. I show an explanation on screen. To update it, we make a while task.wait loop running each 60 seconds and call the function. Before this loop we also call the function, cause while loop stops all code. What comes after it, if it's in a function, the same but only for that function. Then we test the time label. And if we see it displays our time. Now finally, where you all came for the switch script to toggle the buttons, we use the horizontal alignment property from UI list layout to toggle it together with the background color and an attribute we use also. The following if statement I learned from a friend of mine. With this you make a Boolean value variable, this called a flag. With this we can check if we need to toggle on or off, so when the flag is true we toggle off and vice versa. But instead of a variable we also can use an Boolean attribute. We will use
I was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile. Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a
Let's test.
thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass.
If we see the Boolean attribute is toggle when we switch the switch button. Now we need also script the other button. I believe this can be done better with collection service, but we do it on the old way now with code duplication. I will make a collection service version of this tutorial in the future. Since we use an attribute we only need to read and change. Let's test it. Again, as you see now we can toggle it both, but right now it isn't connected to a setting to toggle. Let's we add something to the time label script. First we need to find the parent of the attribute we need to read.
Time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Now we make a connection with the parent get attribute change signal, and we get our enabled attribute. Now we check if the attribute is true, then we make the time label visible, else we make it invisible. Basically it now makes a connection each time the attribute changes from false to true and vice versa. Let's we test it, and if we toggle the switch we toggle the time label. Now the last thing for this part, we gonna make a day-night cycle. We can stop by switching the button. I will also explain how to make it so it toggle night mode and vice versa. We only will update the day-night cycle if the attribute is true, and we loop each amount of seconds to update. 60 seconds is 1 minute, but we do 1 second to test it. To update the cycle we need game.lightning, or what we do here using lightning with game double.getService. There's a property in the lightning called clock time. We add 1 each time so it loops. Clock time is literally the clock time. And we can also add a attribute change signal with a if statement, and if it's true we set the lightning to 0 like night mode is enabled, else we make it 12. Let's test it. If you see we enable it and it updates the skybox. Also time can be toggled. If you see if we disable the day-night cycle it stops updating the skybox. Well, next time we gonna work with tables and data stores to save and load the settings we just made, so like, share and subscribe for the next part. Also turn on notifications so you don't miss anything and join the community for more. Just read the description for more info. And I see you guys next time. Don't give up your dev journey.